Hello everyone. Okay, so this is the next part of the video, and now we're gonna focus on taking this bottom view and project it into our perspective floor. So for that, we're gonna need a vanishing point right up at the horizon. So I'm just gonna put my vanishing point right here. Now, in order to project this onto the floor, we need to connect our edges to the vanishing point. So let's do that right now. So this is the first corner of our bottom view, and then the next corner. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky because we need to find a line on our floor plan that's gonna make it look like there is a square on the floor. Okay, so it's kind of a random line. Just choose a line that makes it look like a square. So I'm gonna put my line right up in here. There is our square. Now, inside the square, we can find our diagonals, which we're gonna use as reference point later. And also I'm going to name it down here at the bottom. Now we have to repeat this bottom view right up on the floor. So first I'm gonna start with the sides. So I'm gonna take these two lines. I'm gonna make sure they reach the ground line. And then I will connect them to my vanishing point. So there we have the sides. Now I'm gonna try to find this top and bottom line right here on the floor. So for that, I'm going to use this line and my 45 diagonal. So first I'm going to connect these two, find the intersection point and extend it to the ground line right here. Now all I have to do is connect it to the vanishing point. And it touches the diagonals in perspective right up to these 2 points. So all I have to do is trace a line. These two lines are the top and the bottom of our view. Next, I'm gonna try to find these two lines right here. So I'm gonna use this diagonal again as a reference point. So we'll trace a line up to the ground line, and then again, this line is going to our vanishing point. And you can see this line touches the diagonals in these 2 points. And that's how we find our 2 middle lines. So these 2 are exactly up here in perspective. Next, I need to use all these 5 lines just as reference. So all we have to do is connect it to our vanishing point. So all these lines are projected on the floor now, thanks to our vanishing point. So let's connect all this together. This bottom view is exactly the same one that we already drew, but this time it's on perspective. Next, we're gonna work on the side view. So to start the side view, we're gonna leave a little space here in between the bottom view. And I'm going to trace a line all the way up to the vanishing point. So we're trying to create some kind of wall in which we can project the side view. Now we need to find the height of the view. And for that, we already have our front view as reference. So we're gonna take the height of our front view and repeat it on the side. So this is gonna be the height of our view. Next, we're gonna connect it to our vanishing point. Now this intersection right here is gonna give us the depth of our projection. So now I'm just gonna trace a line going up. And that way we kind of have a wall on the side on perspective. So now we're gonna try to use the top and bottom lines from our bottom view and also the middle lines here as guidelines for our side view. So I'm just gonna extend these lines to the side. And then I'm gonna trace them going up like this. So these guidelines are projected on the wall. Next, we're gonna use many reference points from our front view so that we can use them as reference for the side wall or side view that we're going to have. So I'm gonna start with this corner and then try to follow each corner that I use. And all you have to do is just extend it to the side so then we can project it later. Now that we have all these side guides next to our wall, all we have to do is take each one of those points and extend them to the vanishing point so that we're gonna have all these lines in perspective. Finally, all we have to do now is just connect all the dots and intersections that we found with these guidelines and form the side view on this perspective wall. Make sure to follow carefully since there's a lot of connection points and intersections that you have to follow very carefully. So now that we have our side view ready and also our bottom view, we're gonna be able to use those as guides and then form a shape in 3D space in perspective, which we're gonna do in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.